discuss about divisibility rule. Divisibility rule for number 2, for number 3, number 4, number 5, 6, and our last number 9. For rest of the number, we will talk about that in some another video. Okay, so what is the rule for divisibility? Whether the number is divisible by 2 or not, what we have to seek? Whether it is even or not. If it is even, then yes, it is divisible by 2. But if the number comes out to be the odd number, then no, we can't divide it by 2. So for in that case, we can't divide it by 2. So for example, I am giving example. For example, here I choose any number, 38, or any big number. You can choose 4, 0, 3, 5, 7, 6, 5, 2. So I have to check the last digit. If it is even, then yes, this number is divisible by 2. Here also 38 also. Now I am choosing another bigger number. You can, so this number here, this is the odd number because the last digit is 5. So what are even numbers? Even numbers are those numbers where the last digit is either 0, or it is 2, or it is 4, 6, or 8. If the last digit is 2, 0, 4, 6, 8, then we say the number is even. For example, for 38, the last digit is 8, so 38 becomes even number. And for this number, last digit is 2, so this big number is what? An even number. Similarly for this number, because the last digit is 5, so this doesn't come in the category of even, because the last digit is neither 0, neither 2, neither 4, neither 6, and nor 8. So that's why it becomes odd, and this is not divisible by 2. Okay. In case of 3, what we have to see? We have to check the digit sum. What we have to check? Digit sum. So what does it mean, digit sum? Digit sum means if the number is 38, then I have to add both the number 38. So this becomes 3 plus 8. So this comes out to be how much? 38. This comes out to be 11. So I see 11 is not the multiple of 3. Or I can say 11 doesn't comes in the table of 3. So this means what? 38 is not divisible by 3. So we are crossing the possibility of dividing 38 by 3. And you can check in the table of 3 also, 38 doesn't come. Okay. For this big number, is this number divisible by 3? Let's check. We have to add all the digits here. Okay, so we are adding 0, 3, 5, 7, 6, 5, and then 2. So we have to add in here. So 4 plus 3, 7, 7 plus 5, 12, 12 plus 7, 19, and 19 plus 6, 25, 25 plus 5, 30, and then 30 plus 2, 32. So 32 I am getting. So 32 is also not the multiple of 3. So that means what? This number is not divisible by 3. Let's check for another number. For example, I can 360. Okay, the number is 360. Is this number divisible by 3? Let's check. Let's check the digit sum. 3 plus 6 plus 0, so this comes out to be 9. So here, yes, this is multiple of 3 and it comes in the table of 3. Then this number is divisible by 3. Okay. Now for the divisibility rule of 4, before getting in there, check for this number whether this number is divisible by 3 or not. So here is your question. Okay, answer that in the comment box. And the question is 3690 is divisible by 3 or not? Okay, so you have to answer this. Okay, and the other question is 3690, so whether this is divisible by 3 or not. And here is your another number, 5 7 plus 7, so the other number is 572. So you have to check for this number whether this is divisible by 2 or not. So now the next divisibility rule, that is divisibility rule for 4. So in this case we have to check what? Only the last 2 digits, only the last 2 digits of any number. Okay, only the last 2 digits of any number we have to check. For example, here we were checking the last digit only, but here in case of 4 we have to check the last 2 digits, okay, of any number. For example, I am having the number 372, so I can see this number is divisible by 4. Yes, because 72 is divisible by 4. So that's why this big number is divisible by 4. For example, I can take any number, 4035536. So for this number I have to check the last 2 digit number. As 36 is divisible by 4, then this means this whole number is divisible by 4. And if you want to recheck, you can calculate it, and this number after dividing by 4 will give you what? A whole number. Okay, a full number. There would be no decimal over there. So that's why this number is divisible by 4. So to check the divisibility rule for 5, we have to check what? The last digit. The last digit here. Last digit should be 0 or it should be what? 5. Okay. For example, I am having this number 3500 3570. So here I can see the last number is 0. So this means what? This number is divisible by 5. Okay, so we can check for another number. Let's see this big number. Is this divisible by 5? Yes, it is divisible by 5, but it is not divisible by 2 because it was an odd number. But here in this number, because 5 is at the last digit number, so that's why this whole number is divisible by 5. Okay, for example, I can take another odd number. So this number is not divisible by 5, even though it's an odd number, but because there is no 0 or 5, so at the last digit place, so this makes it not compatible to the divisibility rule of 5. Okay, so here this number is not divisible by 5. In case of 6, what we need to check? What we need to check in case of 6, the divisibility rule should follow the divisibility rule of 2 and that of 3. If the number is divisible by that of 2 and 3, then only we can say it is divisible by 6. For example, we are having the number 38. We just check. So 38 is, because it's even at the last number and it follows the divisibility rule of 2. So yes, it is divisible by 2. But 38 is not divisible by 3. We just check because the digit sum comes out to be 11 and 11 is not divisible by 3. So here we can't continue. So this means that it is not divisible by 6. Okay, for example, 360. I am taking the example for 360. 360. 0 is there, so 0 at the last. So 0 is there, it is divisible by 2. 360, I have to check the digit sum for the divisibility rule of 3. So let's add this. 3 plus 6. So it becomes how much? 9. Okay. So I can see 9 is divisible by 3. So this means what? 360 is divisible by 2 and 360 is divisible by 3. So this means what? Both the ticks. This means what? This means it is divisible by 360 is divisible by 6 also. Okay, that's it. But here, if not in one of the cases, then that means it is not divisible by 6. So that is the divisibility rule for 6. Now for 9. In case of 9, the divisibility rule says the same thing that was here with 3. We have to check the digit sum. If that comes out to be the multiple of 9, then only it is divisible by 9. For example, in case it's similar to that of 3, the divisibility rule of 3. And here I am taking one example. For example, 4, 2, 0, 3. So if I add this number, the digit sum comes out to be 4 plus 2 plus 0 plus 3. So this comes out to be 9. So yes, this is divisible by 9. So yes, this number is divisible by 9. If I take another example, 4, 3, 7, 4, 3, 7, and here I check the digit sum for this thing. So here what I am seeing, it comes out to be 14, and this is not divisible by 9. Okay, so that means what? This number 437 is not divisible by 9. I am taking another example. For example, this number comes out to be this. Okay, so this time if I add the digit sum, it comes out to be how much? 15. But this is not divisible by 9. Okay, so this means 438 is not divisible by 9. But some students mistakenly always predict if the digit sums is divisible by 3, then that means the number is divisible by 9 also. So that is not the case here. Okay, for example, for this one, we can see the sum comes out to be 15 and 15 is divisible by 3. That means this 438 is divisible by 3. But it is not true in case of 9. Okay, so here I am recapitulating the whole thing for you guys. The divisibility rule. Divisibility rule for 2, we have to check the last digit. If it comes out to be 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, then yes, it is divisible by 2. For 3, we have to check the digit sum, and if it comes as the multiple of 3, then yes, this follows the divisibility rule of 3. For that of 4, we have to check the last two digits of any number. If the last two digits are divisible by the 4, then we say that the whole number is divisible by 4. In case of 5, we have to check the last digit. It should be either 0 or 5. If it is 0 or 5 in this case, then we say the number is divisible by 5. For the divisibility rule of 6, we have to check if it comes out to be true for both the divisibility rule for 2 and 3, then we say yes, the number is divisible by 6. If it doesn't comes out to be true for any of the two, either the 2 or 3, then we say no, it is not divisible by 6. Okay, then comes the divisibility rule for 9. Here we have to check the digit sum. Okay, if the digit sum comes out to be the multiple of 9, then we say the divisibility rule for 9 followed. Okay, for example, this is the number and we add all the digits of this number, then we got 9, and this shows that yes, it is a multiple of 9 and we can divide this number by 9. So this follows the divisibility rule for 9. So these were all the divisibility rule for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. And for rest of the rules, we will make another short video, especially for 7, 11, 13 and all those case. We will look forward for higher divisibility rules as well. Okay, so today's homework is, here are a few questions that you guys can practice. The very first question is this one. Check whether this number is divisible by 2, 3, then 4, 5, then 6 and 9. Okay, and the second divisibility rule you guys have to check, that is for 3, 0, 5, 0. Same for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. Okay, this number is divisible by which of the numbers? Okay, there could be more than one options. Okay, also circle, number, and the third I am giving 180. Okay, or I can raise the number to 1800. Okay, 5, 6 and 9. Fourth, fifth question. So these are the 5 questions that you guys have to practice, and write the answers in the comment box. Okay, till then, bye bye, take care. Okay.